Mr. Campbell sent an amendment. The amendment is acceptable to the author. Is there objection to the opposite amendment? And the chair has none. The amendment is adopted.
What? How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton calling for the resignation of Texas Speaker of the House Dade Phelan, because apparently Dade Phelan has been coming to work drunk. That's right, you saw him at the very beginning of this video in the House chambers in Texas, clearly drunk or high or something else. Now, I would presume since Ken Paxton works with him right there in the Texas House, he would know whether he's drunk or not. Okay, because he probably can smell him. I mean, I would assume if it's middle of the daytime and you're slurring like that to the point where you can't really talk at all, and when you swing the gavel, you almost lose balance. If you're looking like that, you probably can be smelled. There may be some drugs involved, but I'm not really sure. And before I go any further, let's go ahead and roll the clip. Oh, and further context, these are both Republicans, so it ain't no gang warfare going on. But I will link to this clip in the description box. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton says he believes Speaker Dade Phelan has been conducting House business while in a state of, quote, debilitating intoxication.
And the Attorney General is calling for the Speaker to resign. Paxton has not provided any real hard proof of his allegation, but last Friday...
What you mean no hard proof? Look at this. The video shows that something's going on. Either he's drunk or experiencing a stroke or he's on pills. Obviously, something's not right. And if the accusation is that he's drunk, again, they could probably smell him.
A video recorded from the House floor shows the Speaker conducting a late night portion in the 14th hour of a 14-hour session with...
Nah. Okay, so are they making excuses for him? Is that what's going on? That's crazy, because I have another video where there are other instances of him doing that exact same thing, slurring his words, acting the fool, all this kind of crazy body language, worse than Nancy Pelosi, worse than all these nut jobs on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C.
Slurred speech. Fox 4's Sean Rabb in now with more. Sean.
Yeah, and it's a shocking allegation from Paxton about a fellow Republican and one of the big three in state leadership. Now, there is a different cadence and not the rapid fire calling of votes normally heard while Phelan presides. But here's what we report, you decide. We're going to play the Speaker twice. First, from May 19th. Again, that's the day in question. Following that, from last night. Look and listen.
Mr. Campbell sent an amendment. The amendment is acceptable to the author. Is there objection to the opposite amendment? And the chair has none. The amendment is adopted.
SB 1070. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Mr. Jatan voting aye, Mr. Smith voting aye.
Big difference, ain't it? Big difference. Something's clearly wrong on the first clip. Something's wrong. I mean, to say he's drunk makes sense. So if he's not drunk, then something else is wrong. We got to get to the bottom of what's happening. Maybe we should ask him, hey, man, were you just tired? You trying to go to bed? I don't really understand what's happening.
Ms. Weiner voting nay. Have all members voted?
All right, in Paxton's statement calling for Phelan to resign, he accused the Speaker of failing to live up to his duty to the public and creating a credibility crisis for Republican candidates. We shared the video with SMU political science professor Cal Jilson.
I need to see a lot more about this before I drew the conclusion that Attorney General Paxton drew. I've watched a lot of video of the Texas House, very poor quality. Oftentimes it's very garbled. So that video made Phelan look bad, but I would need...
Man, come on. Let's be for real. You saw the two videos. These are from the same source. The same source, two different videos, 2 different days. He looks and sounds totally different. And it's not just about his voice, how it sounds. His body language is all over the place. Almost losing your balance. And there was one video in the little compilation, the 6 minutes of him appearing to be drunk or on some kind of drugs, having little mini strokes or something like that. In the compilation, you can see him kind of like giggling, acting crazy, and doing all this jazz, not being in front of the microphone, things you wouldn't do as not just a member of the Texas House, but you are the Speaker of the House. Your job is to speak. So you shouldn't be doing all this jazz and, slurring your words and everything else. And if you are doing that, and you're not drunk, then something else is wrong.
Need to know a lot more because he has been a steady.
Look at this. You see this? Wait a minute. Right here, like he almost fell.
Because he has been a steady.
That wasn't the freeze frame. I'm sorry for keep going back and forth, but look, watch him for the couple seconds that he's going to be in this little pose. This is not a freeze frame. This is live video.
Bad, but I would need to know a lot more because he has been a steady guy as speaker in the last two sessions and through most of this one. So the idea that he showed up dead drunk and slurring his words simply is implausible to me.
Well, Phelan has been his own man as Speaker of the House, and there have been many reports of a rift between the Speaker and the Lieutenant Governor and Governor Abbott because he's not been lockstep with them on some of their legislative agenda items.
So they're trying to say it's gang banging, it's gang warfare, internal gang warfare, blood on blood, crip on crip type situation in the Republican Party. That's what they're trying to say. But obviously something's wrong. Now, the accusation of him being drunk has got to be proven, right? You can't just, you can accuse somebody doing something like that, but you got to be able to have solid evidence. I don't know if they're going to do blood alcohol or something like that, but obviously the video, something's wrong. So it doesn't matter if he showed up drunk or not. He needs to address the allegations and explain to people, hey, what's wrong? What's going on? I think he owes that to his constituents and not just those in the Republican Party in Texas.
This session. Now, I spoke with a state representative by phone who told me he was surprised the allegation would come from Ken Paxton, who has his own problems, adding he hadn't heard much talk about it, and unless the speaker took a sobriety test, it would be hard to prove. Certain other voices will weigh in before it's over. As for Phelan, as yet, he has not commented.
So yeah, that's that. That is the video right there. What do you guys think? Do you think Dan Phelan came to work drunk? It looks like it. Something's wrong. I'm hearing all kind of things. I'm hearing all kind of rumors. They're talking about it might have been pills too. As you heard in the video, it was a long session, 14 hours, all this and that and the third. But I've seen people in the U.S. Congress do the long filibustering for hours and hours and hours and hours, just as long as that, if not longer, and they don't sound quite like that. I'm not quite sure that exhaustion makes you do that. I think there's something else going on. And again, all that needs to happen is Dan Phelan should come out and say, you know what, this is what's going on. I can't explain it, because it doesn't, like, if you're just a regular normie going to work and you looking kind of crazy, that's one thing. Handle it with your boss or whoever is in higher level management. But when you are a Speaker of the House and you are a lawmaker, you have power over people in the state of Texas, you need to explain what's happening here, because there's concern. If I was a Texas resident, a citizen in Texas paying taxes, and then my Speaker of the House is doing something like that, I want answers. Okay, it's the same kind of way I criticize Joe Biden for acting the fool, not knowing what's going on, being asleep half the time, reading from cue cards, not remembering things. That's concerning. That's the president, regardless of whether I want him or not. He's my president making decisions. I want some answers. Okay, and if he's not doing his job properly, if I see him stumbling and bumbling and carrying on, looking not right, I'm not going to vote for him. I didn't vote for him anyway, but if I did vote for him and I saw that performance, I'm going to have second thoughts like, well, maybe I shouldn't elect him again, because obviously he'll be 82 at the end of this year. And if he gets his second term, he'll be 86 at the end of that. So I don't think this guy is capable right now of being able to be the president. So he most certainly wouldn't be a second term. So all I would say as I close is, hey, Dave Phelan, all you got to do is just come on out and say what's cracking, give everybody an update, and clear out some of the rumors. If you're a regular private citizen, a normie, this may not be necessary to do, but you're not a regular citizen. You're not a regular normie. You are the Speaker of the House in Texas. You owe it to your constituents to come on out and say what's really going on. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How you feel about this situation? What do you think is going on here? Do you think it's some internal warfare in the Republican Party with Ken Paxton and maybe Greg Abbott, Dan Patrick, Lieutenant Governor? Is it some internal warfare going on between the two of them, or the three or four of them? They want to get them out of the way. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. There's clearly something going on, and it needs to be addressed. If it is proven that he's drunk, I would not be surprised. You saw the videotape. You heard him on audio. We saw his physical body language. And again, I have a 6-minute compilation of him appearing to be drunk or on some kind of substance or something. Something's wrong. I have a 6-minute tape of different times. Beyond what you saw in this video, there's more times where he was looking the exact same way. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.